Hello, my name's David Diley. Welcome to the Scarlet View. It is 6 a.m. and I'm in Marsanakari in the southern Red Sea, currently on location shooting the new promotional films for Red Sea Diving Safari. I absolutely love doing these kind of jobs. It's one of my most favourite things to do. It's such a privilege to be able to do something which you enjoy so much for a job. But before I come out on one of these shoots, I always get asked exactly the same question, and that is, are you taking your girlfriend? Which essentially implies that this is just one big holiday. So in today's episode, I'm going to show you an average day on location and give you the chance to decide for yourself if you think this is anything like a holiday. Morning. It's 5:19 a.m. I've just woken up after 4 hours sleep because I've got to get up and go over to get everything sorted out in time for a briefing about this morning's first dive, which I'm looking forward to, but I've got to get cracking because I should have been up about 10-15 minutes ago, so I need to go. Right, how's it looking? Sunrise is really early, like 4:30, I think. And it's hot already. Right, so on my way down to our makeshift production office to get the stuff sorted. Conditions actually look really good. It's relatively flat, which is good because we've got a boat ride out to Elphinstone to go and try and film the hammerheads and oceanic white tip sharks. So it's been good. The last few weeks we had one yesterday on the dive, which was good. So on the way into the production office to get stuff sorted. There we go, I thought I'd got the wrong door for a second then. Right, so this is where we're keeping a lot of the gear because the housing is so heavy. I don't want to have to keep carrying it up and down to the shallows. You can see, not shallow. I don't operate very well in the morning at all. As you can see, I've had to make myself a note knowing that I would be shattered today. So we need to get these batteries in the lights, we need to get the cards formatted, battery in the camera, and get it vacuum sealed, ready to go. So I've got to do that now. And then head over to the dive shade over there for all the pre-dive stuff. It is 5:40. There you go. Proof I'm not just doing this in the afternoon and making it up. For anyone wondering, in here it's the Panasonic AU EVA 1 with a 10-22 Canon EFS lens on the front. Got the Shogun Inferno here with an Angelbird AVXT Pro SSD in it. Today we've also got the power lens on the side for the rear mounted cutaways. Today we're shooting in RAW Cinema DNG, 24 frames a second in 4K. What I always do in the morning is check that the record trigger is working. It's working, which is great. This is a 500 gig SSD and we get 29 minutes and 17 seconds of footage onto that. So that's that. I'm just gonna seal it, get it sealed, let it rest for about 10-15 minutes. Need to go over, get some water. It's too early for breakfast, so we're going out doing this dive without any breakfast, which is never ideal. But it is what it is, so let's get over there. great thing about here is it's so hot all the time that getting dressed in the morning is dead easy. Like, getting dressed consists of putting a pair of shorts on and putting your contacts in. That's it. But the downside is that it's really, really, really hot, which makes everything like twice as much effort. So just heading over into the dive shade right now to check everything's ready. This is my little spot. Not a bad view, is it? Yeah, that dog's got the right idea. He's still sleeping. But I was sensible yesterday, so I got all the gear ready in the evening, well, the main stuff anyway. I just need to put my wetsuit on, get the camera over, and then I'll be good to go. There's a separate, like the tourist group is going separately to us today. We've got our own speedboat and we're going out about over there, about 4 miles or so, and conditions look amazing, so that's good. So that's all the gear ready. Camera set up. We should have here the green light, which we do. We should have a green light over here, which we do. That just basically means that the camera's vacuum sealed, so it gives you a little bit of extra security to know that it's closed properly. So it's 6, I don't know if you can see that, it's 6:20, and it's starting to get very, very hot already. We've got that nice 25-minute boat ride, so we're going to get the stuff onto the speedboat, get it all stowed away, and then get out as quick as we can, so we can get out before the tourist group, because then hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have the water to ourselves, because there's no day boats out there yet, which is nice, so fingers crossed. So I guess the next time I see you will be on the speedboat. Right, so all the gear is set up and ready to go. We're on our way out. We got Jeremy, who's the lucky mascot all of a sudden. Super dive guy Des, and we've got Captain Fantastic Ashraf. So it's the dream team. So on our way out to Elphinstone, about 20-25 minutes, and then hopefully have a successful dive with some sharks. It is 6:39. Alright, so that's Elphinstone done. Nice pod of dolphins, but no sharks, unfortunately. You can see camera and the housing go straight into the rinse tank. Now I've got to break all the gear down to then set it back up again, ready for the trip to Marsa Abu Dabab. So the gear's coming back, switch the tanks over, hang up, take off the wetsuits, rinse them out, hang them up to dry a bit, then it's take the camera over to the office, put the batteries on charge as much as I possibly can, change the settings out of RAW, get everything ready and done. By the time that's pretty much done, it'll let me time to go. So it's 9 o'clock, there's no time for breakfast, so we're going to Abu Dabab on empty stomachs. Right, so got the housing, carried it across from the dive shade, it's over now. It is just gone 9:20. I need to dry this off a little bit, get the batteries on charge from the Shogun, change the settings on the camera, take it out of RAW, need to put the light batteries on charge as well. We're going to have a maximum of about 40 minutes to charge, so all the dive gear's hung up and put away. I need to try and get some sugar, so I'm going to have a bottle of Coke. I might try and fit time to have a biscuit as well. So that's this to do now before we head out for the next dive site, which is Marsa Abu Dabab, for nice big fat turtles. We weren't lucky this morning at Elphinstone. Hopefully we get lucky at Abu Dabab. So I will see you in probably about 1 second. It's so hot. Right, it's almost 9:40. I've taken a couple of minutes. This is breakfast, bottle of Coke and wafer biscuit. That's all we've got time for. Drink that, eat the biscuit, back to the office, see how the batteries are getting on, then over to the dive shade behind me, just there, to get everything sorted to get onto the speedboat for Abu Dhabi. 10:16, it's about 38 degrees, gear's all packed up, ready to go to Abu Dhabi. So this is going to get collected and taken over to the jetty. Batteries have been charged as much as possible for the camera, and then we get over onto the speedboat in the next sort of 10-15 minutes. So on the boat, finally. Huh?
I thought you were doing a selfie.
No, I'd selfie video, it's even worse. No, 10:43. How hot do you reckon? So on our way to Abu Dhabi to go and try and find the big giant sea turtles. Got Sarah with me this time. Missed her the last. There we go. Missed her the last couple of dives at Elphinstone. So let's hope we get lucky today for turtles. You can tell I'm tired. I can hardly speak now.
We're not going to see any turtles.
Don't say
We're
that.
going to see seagulls.
Yeah, probably. Right. See you later. Right. I don't know how well the sound's coming across on these, because I'm filming all these on my iPhone, because obviously the cameras are all being used for other things. We just got back from Abu Dhabi. It's 1:50. Got the turtles, saw the dugong from the surface, but we weren't able to get in time with it to film it. I'm really starting to flag now. It's been a long hot day already, out in the sun. Some pretty long rib rides on some pretty lumpy water. Kind of takes it out of your back a little bit. Plus with it being 2 o'clock, it's pretty much at 2 o'clock I will have completed what is most people's ordinary work day in an air-conditioned office, sitting down at a computer, which is great if you do that. I've done it myself, but I've still got at least another, I reckon, 10 hours to go today. We'll see. Well, yeah, long old day, and it's really, really hot. Hello, me again. Batteries. So we've come over to the production office. We've got batteries charging down here. It's so hot. It is so hot. I burned today. It's about 42-43 degrees. Been on the go constantly, but the restaurant have been kind enough to actually save us some food, because we did miss lunch, so I need to eat, and so does Sarah. So we're gonna head over, get something to eat, and hopefully have a chance to sit down for maybe 20 minutes or half an hour. It's about 3:15, and the wind has really kind of picked up out of nowhere. So I don't know if you can see behind me, but the conditions have got very, very lumpy. So the afternoon's trip to Elphinstone has been cancelled. So we're going to do a shore dive instead, although I don't know how good the viz is going to be. Do that and then call it for the diving today, and then do some topside stuff in a bit. So I need to go get the stuff ready again. I get in and do the shore dive. So the dive is done. As expected, the visibility was a bit poo, but I did get some okay stuff of an octopus. I think need to review that to see how that's come out, but I think it might be okay. So what I decided to do was, because the wind is still up, it's not really ideal for the beauty stuff, although it has cleared up the sky, which is good. It is dying down a little bit, which hopefully bodes well for tomorrow. But instead of doing some of the topside beauty stuff, I'm going to do one of the camera reviews I need to do while I'm out here next. So that means coming over to the office, where we will undoubtedly see Sarah doing a proper job. Believe it or not, her proper job is not running around after me. Say hello to everyone, Sarah.
Hello.
The camera at the moment is in the housing. So we need to break that down and get it done for the topside stuff. I managed to fit in a bit of a shave, so I can tidy myself up a little bit if I'm going to be appearing on camera. So I had about sort of 25 minutes, half an hour to do that. which felt like a bit of a break, which was nice, which I think I needed. So we're going to break this down, get the topside rig sorted out, and then I will see you when we are about to start shooting that review. Right, so now it has just gone 6 o'clock, and we have just finished recording a review of the Paralens dive camera because it was too windy really to do any of the beauty stuff. So we've been doing that on the setup over here. I just do want to take a minute just to acknowledge my t-shirt, which was bought for me by my wonderful 4-year-old son Lucas, who chose it himself, paid for himself, and not only is it a bitchin' t-shirt, it also says T-Rex for President, which I think is a message we can all get behind. But we've now done full day up to gone 6, so I've been going now for 13 hours. We're losing the sunlight, so we've done this review. It's now back to the office to get the camera broken down from the topside shooting rig to put back into the housing for tomorrow's dive-in, get everything on charge, and then what comes next this evening, probably a little bit of dinner, and then we'll go into the night. So I will see you again in about 1 second. Right, 7 p.m. The camera has been broken down and is back in the housing ready for tomorrow with some batteries charging. And now I've got to go over to the dive shade to get my gear ready because we've got a really early start tomorrow to go and try and find that dugong at Abu Dabab, which we didn't see earlier on. So I need to get that dive gear ready and have it sorted so I don't have to think about doing that in the morning. And it's, to be honest, it's these kind of little jobs like putting the dive gear together and breaking it down again and again and again, doing the same thing with the camera, getting it topside, then in the housing, then topside, charging the batteries, just transporting things from here to there. It's only little jobs on their own, but when they kind of just constantly, you've got loads of them on a day-to-day basis and they keep repeating it, it's really tiring. It takes it out of you. And I thought I had a bit of a second wind before when we were doing that review, but it's really hit me now. I'm absolutely shattered. So got to get this dive gear done, and then it's on to the next job. Okay, so a little addition into what I've just said. Got over here to get my dive gear ready, and I forgot my locker key. So now I've got to walk back and get it, and this goes back exactly to what I was just saying before. The little jobs, and you get tired, and that kind of tiredness really affects your performance. So it's little things like this are very frustrating. So back to get my key, and then back to go and do the dive gear. 7:15, dive gear done. Now it's time to go get some dinner, have something to eat before I crack on with what he's doing tonight. So that was relatively painless, so I will see you after dinner. Right, so 8:15, had dinner, called my girlfriend at home, and now I need to clean up the housing for tomorrow. So I'm using Rafiq, who's the general manager. I'm using his old office because it's a much cleaner environment than where I actually store the housing. It does mean I have to turn the aircon off though and close the door. Normally cleaning the housing means going through all the O-rings, cleaning them out, putting some silicone grease on them. Just makes everything more stable in terms of actually sealing the housing. But upon closer inspection earlier before, I noticed that there's 2 tiny little bits of dust on the inside of the dome port, which has obviously happened when I've taken the camera out to break it down for the topside stuff. So they need to be cleaned out. So it means we have to pop the dome port off, take it out, clean inside it, make sure we're not getting any dust inside that's then going to fall back in to the dome pour, put that together. So this is going to take about 20-25 minutes to get done. So this is what I've got to do now. And should say as well, it's all part, maintaining your kit is a big part of this job. You do it every single day, or you should do it every single day. Because if you maintain your kit will be in good condition, which as a professional you need it to be. You need it to be reliable. So it's part of the day, and I'm going to crack on with it now, and then I will see you in a little bit. Okay, so it is 9:52. Where are we? I hope you can see that. 9:52. Spent quite a bit of time cleaning out the housing, cleaned out the lenses as well, cleaned out the Inferno a little bit, just got everything a bit more spick and span, because you can never be too careful with that stuff. Then ended up organising some things for tomorrow. So I'm now just sitting down to download and back up all the footage from today. Which means going through every single clip. Now, there is always a temptation at this time of night when you've been going all day to just say, do you know what, I can't be bothered, I'll do it tomorrow. The reason not to do that is if I did that, tomorrow, I'd be like, oh, I've got 2 days worth to do, and I'm still in exactly the same position. I still want to sleep as much as I do now, but I've got twice the amount of work that I should do. So you've got to kind of force yourself to do it. Plus, it's good habit to be into to just constantly back things up. So, got this to do. Next time you see me, this will be done. And then the day will be over. So I will see you soon. I think this is going to take about 40 minutes. So let's see. So 9:53 now. I'm hoping that this is done by 9:33. We shall see. 10:33. See, basic maths. Even that's gone out the window. Right, 10:41, and that is the day done. All the footage is now backed up. So the day started at 5 o'clock this morning. Well, 5:19. And it's just finished now at 10:41 p.m. So that is 17 hours and like 17 and a half hours, 17 hours, 20 minutes, something like that, which is a long old day. That's 2 full days plus a couple of extra hours in, I guess, a normal job, all done in one day. But if you offered me the chance to do 8 hours a day in an office again, or do this for 16, 17, 18, 19 hours a day, I would choose this every single time. I wouldn't need even a millisecond to think about it. It's such hard work and it's so tiring, and I hope you've got kind of an insight into what an average day on a shoot like this is like, but it's so rewarding. It's so much more rewarding than anything else I've ever done before. Yes, I can't wait to get into bed and go to sleep, but I know that I've filled the day doing something that I love doing. So it has its difficulties, it has its stresses and its pressures, but infinitely more enjoyable and infinitely more rewarding than anything else I've ever done before. I love doing it, and although I'm more tired now than I've ever been doing any other job, I'm actually tired because I've been spending the day doing something instead of just sitting in an office wishing I was somewhere else. So that's it now, it's time for bed. I've got a very early start again tomorrow. It's up at 5 again, to go to Abu Dabab to try and find the dugong again, which hopefully we do. And that's it. That is an average day in on a production like this. 2 weeks in, I would say every day so far has been like this. Not had a day off yet, but who wants a day off when you're doing this? So I hope you've enjoyed it. So there you have it. That's an average day on location on an underwater film shoot. It's extremely long hours. It's incredibly hot with temperatures getting into the low 40s regularly. My entire body hurts, my feet ache, my hands are sore. It's hard physical labour and it's hard mental labour, and it's constant as well. There's not been any days off, there's been very, very, very little downtime, and there's also quite a lot of pressure as well, because you have to capture the things that the client wants you to capture, and with wildlife and particularly marine life, it's not quite that easy. But by no means am I asking for sympathy. I'm not moaning, because I would not swap this for the world. I live for this stuff. I absolutely love it. But please, please don't ever imply that this is a holiday, because it absolutely is not. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I will see you again next time.